Did the market just bottom, or is this a lower high? What's going on, guys? It's Ricky with TechBud Solutions here with a super quick market update. And I'm sure a lot of you guys are seeing what we saw right at market open in today's live trading session with my LPP team. The thing that I pointed out today that was a little different than yesterday, and you guys let me know in the comment section if you agree. Yesterday, we had a consistent amount of selling pressure. It wasn't super aggressive. I mean, if you take into consideration from where we opened to where we closed at, we lost about 1%, but it literally took the entire day to get there. It was very different this morning. From the time that the market opened, within the first 45 minutes, we were already down 1.67%, a much more significant sell-off. So the thing that I pointed out is like, hey, this is a very aggressive sell-off in comparison to yesterday. Sometimes when the markets sell off aggressively, they might be oversold at that point, and then they have a dead cat bounce. Surprise, surprise, we found a support. We did a V-shaped recovery for the NASDAQ market, but is this just in preparation for a lower high? Are markets going to continue to de-risk before the Jackson Hole meeting that is set to happen on Friday? And again, I will be live streaming the Jackson Hole meeting, so just another reason to subscribe if you guys haven't done so already. But the reason I'm pointing this out is for any of those that were either put in a bad position when markets were selling off, you're kind of given a chance right now to just recalibrate and maybe reset. It's not that you have to sell, right? Because if you want to go long, you should continue to hold that position. But if you think that markets are possibly going to form a lower high, get rejected, and continue to sell off, then definitely, again, just create a plan of action of doing something now so you don't later end up regretting it. With that being said, I'm waiting right now for confirmation. I'm waiting to see if the market ends up getting rejected and forming a lower high and a lower low, or if we actually did bottom and if the market just ends up buying up this entire sell-off that we've experienced already, right? If we look at this on the 1 hour time frame, the thing that I wanted to share with you guys very quickly is it was quite crazy. At one point, if we look at the overall highs for PLTR to the overall lows, this thing was down 24%. That is correction territory for Palantir. Bear market territory. Palantir has officially entered a bear market territory after it hit being down 20%. And that's right around that 147 price point. That's why we saw a little bit more selling pressure kicking in there. Now, don't get me started with all the other companies, right? It's not just Palantir, but it's also MSTR at one point was lows of 325, right? If we look at TEM, that stock is still down 5.2% on the day. We had Reddit down to 205, barely holding above that $200 price point. And remember, Reddit just a few days ago was trading at 255. So these companies are losing a big portion of their value in a very short period of time. And I want to remind you, as you can see, right? We saw a lot of selling pressure. We've began to uptick, but it's beginning to slow down. Is this a possible lower high? For those that are a little bit newer, a lower high means that it pushes up, but not as high as it did before. Therefore, the highs that it makes is lower. The highs that it makes is simply lower than the one before. And if you look at QQQ, like what a perfect time to be filming this. Look at QQQ, right? This is all the concepts that we talk about within LPP. Again, LPP is very designed for beginners. So if you're a little bit more advanced, LPP is not going to be for you. But if you're someone that just doesn't see those setups, then LPP would be good for you because we break this down in a very simplistic way, right? QQQ PLTR is also setting up for a possible short if we actually get rejected and form those lower highs and lower lows. But we still need to wait for confirmation, right? Because it's still in the early signs of a potential reversal, but I would still like to wait for lower lows and lower highs on QQQ. But again, it's doing something now, not in hoping for something to happen, but actually preparing, right? You're never going to be perfect. Your trades are never going to be perfect. And maybe your average price is at a much higher price point and you're just trying to mitigate loss. The whole point about this is what's your intention? Was your intention a day trade or a swing trade, right? If your intention was a swing trade, then okay, these intraday setups probably aren't going to be something that you don't want to make impulsive decisions intraday. I respect that. But if your focus was to day trade something, please don't let it turn into a swing trade. That's my biggest recommendation for anybody that's just getting started. Don't be like the MSTR people that bought at $500 and have been left bag holding, right? Or the people that buy at all-time highs and just hold the bag as it sells off 20 to 50%. Please be calculated, be intentional. You're never going to be perfect. You're always going to take loss in this market. Loss is inevitable. Your job is simply to manage it. Losing 5% is much better than losing 20%. And just write it down, right? How much is it that you're down right now and what percent is it? Now do the math if you were to lose 20%. That shouldn't encourage you just to blindly sell. It should just make you aware of what is possible. Because again, markets are de-risking. Things can get worse before they get better. And I want to remind you, you can always get back in. That's the thing that you need to be reminded, is that it's not the end, right? You can mitigate risk, be careful with your position size. And this is why you don't want to be incredibly leveraged at these overbought levels, because then yes, you do have less buying power if you get margin called, because you don't even have the original dollar amount that you needed for that dollar amount that you're currently borrowing. So please be very careful with how much leverage or how much margin it is that you are using when markets are selling off. That's for both people going long and for going short. I want to see you guys do well, not because you deserve it, but because I want to see you earn it. Okay. So wish you guys nothing but the best. If you guys have any questions, feel free to comment down below. And again, if you want to tune on into my live trading sessions, I trade live every single morning with my LPP team. It's the second link in the description down below. And again, it's designed for complete beginners. So whenever it is that you're ready, we're there. Like always, let's make sure that we end the year on a green note. Take care, team.